I'm gonna be late. Hurry up, come on. It says I'll get there in 30 minutes. I only have 5. I'll get there in time.
This road looks safe to cross. Ow!
Some of you may be wondering how the tragic on-screen events you just witnessed came to pass. Well, after a thorough 12-year investigation by our independent panel, we uncovered a shocking truth which we were certain would shake the very foundations of the earth as we know it. We determined that an inadequate knowledge of driving safety led to the tragic events you just witnessed, and accordingly, we have developed the following safety video.
To look for the signs on the street, and also to be aware of the drivers. This means to be aware of other drivers on the road and to look for the signs and understand its meaning. For example, with the deer signs, you should come with the expectation of where they are coming from and to stay preferably on the middle lane so you wouldn't hit them. And before you hit them, you should hit the brakes and do not swerve. Always face forward. Since we're moving forward, looking away for a little bit can be extremely dangerous. Do not become distracted in any way, including your cell phones, foods, or even just reading on the map, because that can be a source of hazard. And remember, our goal is to get there safely. Never drive when you're unable to stay alert, which includes being tired or impaired by substance use.
As my esteemed colleague Ruth just pointed out, staying alert is the golden rule of driving safety, but it is not the only step that you can take to be safe while driving. There are a number of preventative measures that you can take before getting behind the wheel.
Key things about your vehicle that you want to keep up to date and keep track of are your tires. These are one big component of your vehicle that you need in order to travel places, anywhere from Walmart to across the country. And so one big aspect of your tire that you need to look at is the tread. You can use a simple penny that you can find in your home or in your car and do the penny test. If you're able to fully see Abraham Lincoln's head, then you know that it's time to get your tires changed. Another thing that you need to keep in check is the tire pressure. You should keep this around 30 to 35, depending on the tires you have. 30 to 35 PSI to be exact. As well as getting frequent tire rotations. Those should be done every 2 oil changes. And another important thing to always keep in your vehicle at all times are jumper cables, because you never know when you'll need them. And so some more important things about your vehicle to keep in mind are your window washer fluid levels, your coolant, and your engine oil levels. These should be checked regularly when making long distance drives, and if you are driving periodically, quite frequently for work, for instance, these things should be checked weekly.
My distinguished coworker Carlos presented us with important safety tips prior to when you get on the road. But now we're going to look at tips for when you are actually driving on the road.
It is generally a good idea to drive at the speed limit or below the speed limit, but not too slow that you affect impending traffic. It's also a good idea to drive well below the speed limit when it is raining, because traction on your tires will be lowered. Allow yourself more than enough time to get to your destination, and be sure to give yourself breaks so you can stop and stretch, eat and drink if you need to, get gas, and wipe your windshield if your visibility is poor. It is important to eat or drink while on the brakes at the gas station, just so you don't become fatigued when you're driving. And when you're driving, make sure you stay focused on the road. Do not try to pick anything up off the floor. Don't take your eyes off the lane, and always know your route before starting the car.
My renowned associate Casey just taught you several important lessons about driving on the road.
And another important aspect of driver safety is a response to emergency situations. And it's important to stay aware of potential hazards, such as people crossing the road. And there are also other factors to take into account, such as bad weather. If the weather is too bad and you're unable to drive, pull over. Don't risk it. If you're having health issues, pull over. Don't risk it. And finally, when you're dealing with aggressive drivers, pull over. Don't risk it.
Over the course of this video, we taught you several important things about driving safety. The first thing we taught you was what we consider to be the golden rule of driving safety, which is to stay alert and avoid distractions. The second thing we taught you was proper vehicle maintenance, in addition to other steps that you can take before getting on the road. The third thing we taught you was important safety steps that you can take when you are actually driving on the road. And remember, only you can prevent wild drivers.